Welcome in, belly up, have a seat, and grab a drink as we talk some Wingman Fantasy Football. Welcome into another edition of Wingman Fantasy Football, the League Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Furley, and as always, I'd like to thank all of you, or any of you who may be watching or listening to this show. This is episode 56, week 6, ins and outs. But before we get into the player news for the day, let's make sure that everybody is in the room.
Wingmen assemble!
All right, now that everyone is here, I want to first off apologize and appreciate your understanding and patience as I was unable to get a couple episodes done this week due to some personal and family reasons. But we are back and we should be able to keep our schedule moving along forward. So let's find out who's in or out, who's hurt or not in this week's Actives in Actives. All right, we've got a lot of players out today. Today sucks in that regard, but let's start out with which teams are on bye this week. So the NFL decided if you wear yellow pants for your team colors, you are not going to play today, as we have both the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers are the two teams with bye weeks for this week, week 6. All right, let's start with our injured players and players that are going to be out. We're going to start with our IR lists and things that have changed there, and some big names and a lot of names were added to the IR this past week, and that sucks. We have Justin Jefferson, the number 1 overall pick in our fantasy draft. Minnesota wide receiver is on the IR and going to miss a minimum of 4 weeks with a hamstring injury. As of now, the news reports are that he's going to be reevaluated in 4 weeks, which means he may miss more than that 4-week minimum. But just keep an eye on that. That could change. Cooper Kupp was able to come back after 4 weeks with his hamstring injury, although I don't want to compare two injuries together. But he's going to miss at least 4 weeks and maybe more time, so just keep that in mind. Rookie sensation Devon Achane, the man from Miami Dolphins, has also been placed on IR with a knee injury. I saw it when it happened because I was disappointed in Mostert's playing time up to that point, and it was just a minor little hiccup, and I just kind of walked off at about 13 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and they didn't need him the rest of the way because they were up by so much. And I didn't think much of it, but I guess it's enough that they want to just make sure that he's super healthy when he gets back, especially as they have some other players returning, like Jeff Wilson is going to return not this week, but soon. Other players that are placed on the IR this past week was Khalil Herbert, Chicago running back. He's going to be out a minimum of 4 weeks with an ankle injury. And James Conner, Arizona running back, is also going to miss a minimum of 4 weeks with a knee injury. Unfortunately, the rookie quarterback for the Colts, Anthony Richardson, is also going to be placed on IR for a minimum of 4 weeks with a shoulder injury, and it's reported that he might miss up to 8 weeks, although there's still time for that to change. Let's see. We have Jamal Williams, that only has 1 week left before he's able to return off the IR. Deontay Johnson is able to return, but they're on bye this week, so he should be able to go next week. And we have Noah Brown, a little unknown receiver from Houston. He has been activated from the IR, and he's going to return to the lineup for the Texans. All right, as for players that are out today or this week, we have Deshaun Watson is out. He's got a shoulder injury, and it's lingering, and they say he should be able to go next week, but that's what they said last week for this week. So keep an eye on Deshaun Watson. He's going to miss week 6, and you have to check on him for other games going forward. Jahmyr Gibbs, Detroit running back, is also out another game. Treylon Burks did not play today for the Tennessee Titans in London. We have Zay Jones he returned after a couple weeks stint, had a touchdown, and got hurt again. He's going to miss today's game as well. Not only is Khalil Herbert on the IR for Chicago, but Roschon Johnson, the second running back for Chicago, is also out today. Miles Sanders is unable to go. He's been playing through an injury, and he's finally succumbed to those injuries. He's going to miss at least a week here. And Tank Dell, Houston wide receiver, is also out today. As for players that are questionable, these are games that are later in the day, and they haven't been officially active or inactive for today. We have Sam Laporta for Detroit, tight end for Detroit. It looks like he is trending towards playing, but he is questionable as he has a 4 o'clock game. Marquise Brown is also questionable and trending towards playing. Saquon Barkley plays Sunday night, so he's still got a lot of time to go. He's questionable and trending towards playing, but they still say they want to see how he feels in warmups. Darren Waller is in the same boat. He is questionable and looks like he may play, but he is on the questionable tag with a Sunday night game. This player, I'm actually going to consider him in, even though he's off the injury report, but he's not active as it's a Monday night game. We have a big-time player that'll be a boon to Reggie's Lions, who needs all the help he can get. Let me just say this with open arms.
Welcome back.
Austin Eckler will be making his return since his injury from week 1. This is much-needed help for Reggie, who needs all the help he can get, and he's been without his first pick for the last 4 weeks. So hopefully he will be able to give Reggie some well-needed points. As for other players that are going to play today, we've Amon-Ra St. Brown is also back for Reggie's team, so he's going to be back in the lineup today. Salvon Ahmed for the Miami Dolphins is going to play, so he's going to take that second running back role for the Dolphins behind Mostert, as Achane is out and Jeff Wilson was not activated from the IR. So they're going to be using Mostert and Ahmed with probably a rookie or fullback in the third running back spot. T. Higgins, despite his fractured ribs, is going to make it back into the lineup today. We'll see how he does and how much work he'll actually get, but he will be on the field and will be dressed. And Elijah Mitchell is also making his return today. He's missed the last couple games, and that'll give a spell to Christian McCaffrey when needed. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm looking up at this game here. It looks like the Baltimore Ravens are trying to put it away. On a side note, I noticed that Bernie made a bold move sitting DeAndre Hopkins today after his best game of the season last year. And the last I checked, that was the right move, as Hopkins only had 1 or 2 catches for a couple points. Again, there's still a couple minutes left. Oh, there's still a whole fourth quarter to go. So he has time for that to change. But Rashee Rice, who he put in, had one of his best games, at least yardage-wise, for the season. So that might have been the right play, but time will still tell. For some other announcements here, let's see. Don't forget, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and TuneIn Radio. Just search Wingman the League, and you will find our show right there. You can also find all of our content on wingmanentertainment.net/WFF. I like to use the game day guide for my Sunday news information so wingmanentertainment.net/game day. And there's Twitter feeds from Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, Pro Football Talk, and Around the NFL. And that'll give you up-to-the-minute news reporting on players that are hurt or out. Plus, there's a aggregator on the left side that will tell you other player news. And there's also a scoreboard on that left side. So that is a good reference for your quick and up-to-the-minute news for your game day decisions. So feel free to use that tool. Also, let's see. Big announcement. Next Saturday at approximately 5:45 will be our very first in-person live audience event, as we will be recording a episode of Wingman Fantasy Football, the League podcast, at the Furley House Oktoberfest Beer Garden tent at approximately 5:45. Appreciate anyone who can make it. Come out for some support. Of course, there's no admission for there. It'd be nice to get a little bit of a crowd back there as we try and do a live taping, I guess. Let's see what else. I think that's about it. Oh, and that show we're also going to unveil, I think, which might be one of our most important quirks. I used it this past week just to double check that it still was a quirk that was active. I'm going to keep that close to the vest for one more week, and I will unveil a huge quirk in the Yahoo system, and this has to do with waiver pickups. All right, guys. With that being said, may your glasses be full, your mugs stay frosty, and we will see you next time.